Sarah.
Yeah. Next.
And just like that.
Oh, thank you. Next.
Thank you. Next.
I'm real heated about and just like that this week, Chris.
Okay. Oh my God. All right. So to me, the theme for this episode was loss, like loss and finding yourself again. And, they had Seema losing her Birkin that she got when she made her first big sale in Manhattan. And then you had Carrie, and she's recording the audiobook for her memoir about what's his face dying. And she's reading about the night that she comes home and what's his face. And what I thought was funny is that they acknowledge like how long she stood there, because everyone was like, girl, call 911. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That was a good callback.
That was a good callback. And she struggled through it. And what did she do? Because she just didn't want to read this because it made her sad. She fucking said, go find, I have COVID, go find somebody else. She bailed out of it.
I would have said that the theme of this episode was lies and just outrageous dumb fuckery.
I try to look a little deeper, Sarah.
I hated everyone but Seema in this episode. Well, and Charlotte. Charlotte was fine.
No,
she wasn't.
She wasn't. Right.
Take it back.
I remember that I know you're talking about the same scene I am, and it's when the 17-year-old kid comes out of the principal's office.
Yep.
And all these mothers are fucking gawking over him.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's
I said it in my TikTok. Exactly. In what fucking world is that appropriate?
It's gross. I hated it.
It's disgusting.
I didn't laugh even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. It wasn't funny. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't turning the tables, which is what I think they were going for.
I think.
Yeah. Well, when men do it, it's fucking gross too.
Uh-huh.
He's a child.
Those are children.
Those are children.
That's it. No notes.
No notes. But yeah, that fucking bothered me.
Ugh, yeah.
Charlotte, man, does she need a fucking life? She just needs a life, and she needs to stop being like in everybody else's life. Like
that's how I almost forgot about this and said like she was fine this episode because she just has nothing to do.
Right.
Other than gawk at children.
Right. And actually, to be fair, she didn't. Like, she was kind of like, huh? Not gawking at him. But Lisa Wexley, how dare you? You're my favorite character so far.
I did not pause on that frame to analyze each of their faces.
I did.
The music told me what I needed to know.
Yeah.
And it was gross. How about the woman, like what was, she was doing like that, like a purr. It was disgusting. Gross.
Disgusting.
So gross.
So, okay, so we've covered that.
Moving on from that.
Carrie bailing out of a responsibility because something was hard.
Hang on, back up.
Okay.
Because the first time I was like, oh, this bitch, is when Carrie was like, I have to work for 5 days?
Mm-hmm. Because somebody has body odor? Oh, no, poor me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But what was there was something else that I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. And I can't think of it now. However, let's see. What was it?
Maybe it was just the connection between this week and last week, wherein like she just fucking won't. She just will not read the goddamn script. Just dissociate and read the fucking words.
Listen, and I love Bitsy. I'm so glad they brought her back because I think she's such a fun character. And she lost Bobby, and she's grieving, and she says the dirty little secret that no one ever tells you. And there's someone who listens, who's in a lot of the Zooms. And I'm sure she knows this, is that the second year is harder than the first.
That scared the hell out of me.
Right? Why did that scare you?
Because nobody tells you that.
Nobody tells you that.
And conventional wisdom is like, oh, it's supposed to get easier over time.
Right. So Bitsy tells Carrie, you do whatever makes you feel good, which I can kind of relate to. that there is that when you are experiencing grief, there is just that need to just make yourself feel good.
Oh yeah.
So I get that.
When Kamiko died, I ate so many donuts.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's like all I wanted to eat.
Right. So like I love Bitsy. I wish they brought her back more, but I hate that Carrie bailed on a responsibility.
Kristen.
I know.
The outright lies and dumb fuckery in this episode.
I know.
I hit my limit immediately.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, yes, you have to work for 5 days.
Yes.
Of the year. Second of all, they're your words. Am I to believe, Kristen, that the act of writing these words is not nearly as bad as reading them? Because I don't believe that. I believe writing them would feel like your heart is getting fucking ripped out. And by the time you get to recording the audiobook, you should be able to.
Yeah, but I think it was more like tearing open a wound. So I did feel for her in that moment. I just wish, like, girl, that's just not, you don't do that.
That's not made a how commitment. You handle
not only that,
responsibilities. No.
But hello, contract. There had to have been a contract where you said you were going to do it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So what's happening here? What are we doing?
Anything she's not 100% into, she just fucking won't do. I mean,
go ahead.
The vaginal suppository ad, like, just fucking read it and quit being so goddamn precious about it.
Right. You know, like there had to have been a contract. There had to have been something that said she was obligated to read that audiobook. And she's just like, nah. Like, she's still that irresponsible person now that she just has money now.
Right.
Which we saw when she came back to her apartment with like the 8 bags from Bergdorf Goodman, whatever.
Yeah, I thought Bergdorf's closed. Was that Barney's?
No, Barney's. She said Barney's, I think.
Barney's closed?
Yeah,
okay.
In the first season.
Anyway.
So
R.I.P. Barney.
So, okay. So that happens. Now Miranda and Che.
Well, let's not gloss over the audacity of this bitch in terms of lying about COVID.
And
carrying the lie through to your friends. For what?
I know.
For what?
Probably because she didn't want to be judged for bailing on a responsibility.
I mean, this is the worst person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just hate this person.
She's just Carrie with money.
And then she blew off her friends for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Just couldn't fucking be bothered.
Just didn't care.
Yeah, just didn't remember. Like, this is an adult woman in her mid-50s who presumably has maintained friendships before.
Right.
And believes, I guess, that she's like safeguarding the friendship by being emotionally closed off and just lying for literally no reason.
That's what I just didn't understand. Like, why are you lying to your friends?
Right.
Like,
why?
It's one, I guess she just didn't want to deal. Like, just say that. Just say, listen, I'm really stressed because of reading this. I'm kind of like, it's just really affecting me. I feel very depressed. Would you mind if I bailed? I wouldn't be great company. And just be honest.
Right.
I don't like that. To me just seems like the easier,
yes.
like
much easier than lying.
So much easier than lying.
Right.
So I don't even know why the writers made her lie.
I don't know, but the final line of the show, I guess, was the karmic payoff because she got COVID from the Aussies in the bar.
Right. She got, oh God.
And good.
Right. Now, Carrie and the downstairs neighbor. So we're seeing the parallel, right? Like, we're seeing that the downstairs neighbor Lizette, who I really like, and I'm glad she's back, is a young Carrie, right?
That didn't make any sense either.
What do you mean?
Made no fucking sense.
Why?
Your business doesn't have insurance? What are you talking about? You've lost everything.
Well, everything that she's made.
Uh-huh. You know how jewelry is made, Kristen?
How?
She says, "Oh, I've lost everything. I have to start over." No, you don't, because that's not how jewelry is made. Before you have jewelry, you make a cast so you can reproduce the jewelry.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess we're not supposed to think that far into
it. It's stupid.
All right. I like it. However, we see the comparison, like we see the parallel, right? That like she's a young Carrie, she's got the curly hair, she's got the outrage, like the fashion and the style.
An inexplicably nice apartment.
Well, no, that makes total sense to me in Manhattan because, people have rich parents all the time.
Well, that was the explanation, right?
Right? Like,
yeah.
That's it. That's the reason. No notes there. What I really enjoyed was I enjoyed that end scene where they're both lying on the bed because, Lizette's just like, I lost this thing that was so important to me. And I'm never going to get it back. And that's kind of where Carrie is, right? She's like, I've lost this thing that was really important to me. And I think what Carrie's also struggling with is developing an identity outside of Big, because her whole fucking identity, her whole world revolved around Big for 25 years.
Yeah.
And I do think that, when you're with somebody for a long time and then you're not with them anymore, whether they break up or whether there's a death, you do have to rebuild your identity, because that person, that relationship became such an inherent part of your identity.
Well, that is for sure true of Carrie. Yes.
And
so I'm glad that the writers are tackling that. I wish that they were being smarter about it. I wish that the writing was smarter and better.
Yeah, the writing. What is happening? What is happening?
The things we're doing to Che. That sitcom, woof.
Awful. But Che is relatively likable outside of the relationship with Miranda.
Outside of that relationship.
Right?
But inside of that relationship,
they're an abusive piece of shit is what they are. And they cross that line with this episode.
Well,
right.
All right, let's go there.
Let's go there. Because when Miranda, good old Miranda, her son finally calls her. The son and the girlfriend broke up, thank God, because the girlfriend was annoying. And he's like, "Oh, I almost got hit by this car, and I wish he had hit me." And so Miranda freaks out.
Right.
Rightfully, that's her child. And she's like, okay. And immediately she's like, she knows this is my priority.
Yeah.
Right. And so she goes to tell Che. And what happens? No, she goes to the show. She tells the son, like, okay, you call me as soon as you get to the hostel, and we'll figure this out. And she's in line for Che's taping.
And so then makes the most deliberate, stupid motherfucking decision. Literally, what was the plan?
Yeah. Just
what was the plan? I'm to believe that this Harvard-educated partner in a law firm did this.
I know.
This inexplicable thing.
I know. I agree.
What was the fucking plan?
just turn it on vibrate, babe. Like that's all you got to do. Put it on silent, and then get up at a break or something and look at it. Whatever. So it rings in the middle of the taping.
Because of course it fucking does.
Of course it fucking does. And I liked that they're taping this kind of cheesy sitcom, and this very cheesy sitcom-y thing happens with her phone ringing at a very inappropriate moment. That is very sitcom-ish. And so Miranda ends up interrupting this really amazing scene, or this very important scene of Che's. And the writer's just a complete twat about it, right? But she's just screaming.
No, the writer responds as anyone would.
I know.
Because we had a whole thing in line about this, where everybody was told what the rule is and how to follow it. Instructions for your dumbass.
Okay, but listen, when it's your kid, right? And your kid's in peril, and your kid says, "Oh, I wish this car did hit me." What are you going to do? Abandon your kid?
No, you're not going to fucking go in.
I know that really was the answer.
Uh-huh.
But she was trying to do right by everybody. Well, we know Miranda. Miranda isn't a bad person. She was trying to do right by everybody, and
Miranda's not a stupid person, and this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I know, it's a plot device. Shut up.
Just the lies of dumb fuckery.
Right,
Kristen.
Right. So Miranda gets kicked out, and she comes back after the taping, and Che explodes at her. And Miranda she's like, "My son, I'm afraid. He sounded suicidal. Have never seen him like that. That really scared me. So I'm going to go home." And Che's like, "What? You're going to do what?" Like, it's a kid. It's like, what's the big deal? It's just a breakup.
Yeah.
Which is the absolute wrong thing to say. And Che really kills me because they think that everybody around them they are the center of the universe. And that everyone just sort of orbits around them and their needs.
Che is definitely becoming insufferable about this show, which is clearly shaping up to not even be any good.
Right.
Like, can we take this about 70% less seriously?
Yeah.
Because it's not a good show.
Right. It's a terrible sitcom.
I mean, get your bag. Love that for you. But, like, this is not a prestige drama on HBO.
Right. And they seem to think that because they have a Netflix special that everybody should just, bow down to them on this set. They don't seem to understand. They don't seem to understand that they don't call the shots here. And that seems to really frustrate them.
Well, I guess I'm team nobody in this instance because I just think they're both right? Mm-hmm. Like, Che's right to point out, like, this is a blip. Like, yeah, he is upset now, right? Mm-hmm. But, like, do you really need to go home for this? If Miranda were a single parent, I would say sure. But, like, what the fuck is Steve for? What is he for?
What are you for, sir? Dude, no. No. That's his mother. That's his mother. And remember... No. Wait. It was just him and Miranda for that first year, right? Remember?
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but she does.
Yeah.
That bond she has with him, she wants to be there. She wants to be there as a parent.
Right.
And that was a big thing in the movie of she wasn't there. She's like, I made it. I never make it. Right? What she made when he won some science contest.
Yeah. Well, fine that she wants to be there. I'm saying she shouldn't have to be there because Brady has two parents. And in the grand scheme of things, this is not a big deal.
Okay. All right. We'll agree to disagree. But what got me was when I don't know how the fight ended, but it ended with Che saying to Miranda, I know how that feels. Or now you know how I feel. Do you remember what the impetus of that was?
No, I just remember Miranda saying, like, sorry, but I gotta go. Che was surprised that she was leaving. Like, Che seemed to think that their thing was more important. And again, team nobody. Neither thing is important.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't agree with that.
Kristen, you're telling me that your breakup at 17 was like a life-altering event?
If my kid said, I wish a car hit me, yes. Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Okay. That's my job as a parent. Absolutely. And this is, you're talking to somebody who like felt very overlooked as a kid. So this is something that I'm going to be very passionate about. I'm probably going to see this differently. But yeah, your kid makes a comment like that. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, I guess if that's out of character, but I don't know.
We'll agree to disagree on that. But Miranda said something and Chase said something about now you know how I feel. And I didn't get what they were referring to.
It didn't stick with me.
It didn't.
I'm
It
not
stuck with me,
sure.
but I didn't know what they were referring to. But in any case, I felt that Che was really trying to guilt Miranda into staying with them. And I
Yeah.
don't like when guilt is used as a manipulation tactic. That's where I think the abuse is.
Okay. Okay.
And there's Miranda and she's running the lines with Che. And it's just Miranda constantly accommodating Che and Che's
Right.
moods. But whenever Miranda has a problem, Che's like, oh, is it that big of a deal?
Right.
Yeah, it is. Che is completely dismissive of Miranda's feelings. Like Che,
Yeah.
Che and Miranda are big and carry.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Right? With that very toxic, very push and pull relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So Miranda goes home and she gets the tattoo, or she had got the tattoo in California, and they show her looking at the tattoo, and she wanted to get something that reminded her of who she was. So she just got her initials. But I loved that because it was the beginning of her, very similar to Carrie with the statement necklace. These things with their names, they're actually representations of their identity, of who they are. And Miranda getting that tattoo, I think, was the beginning of her starting to realize this is not right for her. This is not who she is.
The tattoo is the only part of the storyline that made any sense.
I know, but I liked that. I liked how the writers worked that in.
I think that to the character of Che's credit, their response in that moment was very understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The show is trash and they should not be taking it nearly as seriously, right?
Right.
Just phone it in. It's gonna be fine because it's gonna be canceled in 3 episodes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, right?
Right.
But yeah, what are you doing bringing your phone in there, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know it was stupid, but when you're a parent, there's no being rational. I just don't think parenting is a rational thing.
It needs to be. It just was so out of character for Miranda to do something that's stupid.
Yeah, she really is a rule follower.
In that moment, that's the moment you make a choice.
Right.
And you know that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Was there anything else
that happened?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Seema got her Birkin back.
I mean, okay, she lost her bag, whatever. Mm-hmm. But she was like, what that represented to her. But we didn't really delve into that, which was too bad. But I saw where they were going. They were trying to tie that in of, losing something.
Yeah.
And how it affects, how you see yourself, right? And it's how it becomes this part of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And how losing it kind of makes you, how unsteady it makes you.
I was really hoping that Seema was going to find the Birkin on The Real Deal.
Oh, I know. I thought that's where they were going to. But P.S., completely unrealistic. Oh, it was in a bush? Was it? No, it wasn't.
Well, I thought that too, right? In that neighborhood, that bag's not going to be there.
No.
Someone's going to spot that.
Right.
For sure.
Right. All right. Whew,
Carrie even says that.
I know. Okay. Final thoughts?
Oh, you know what I enjoyed about this episode?
What?
And there is only one thing. I really enjoyed in this episode how women in an emergency situation called out for help and none came.
Yep. Yeah, but when Seema lit up, they're like, ma'am, you can't smoke. Really? That's what you're worried about? Carrie had to yell that she had COVID for anything to be done.
Yeah. Seema got mugged. Nobody intervened, which is, true to life.
That was another parallel. Yeah. That
was another. Also, the security guards at the jewelry show, worthless. Very true to life.
Yeah, very true to life.
Yeah. So yes. I did enjoy that.